admin. Okay, so in this video we're going to learn how to install WordPress and connect it to our database. Okay, so the database we created from our last video was Google. You can see the database reflecting on our PHP admin dashboard, right? Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so in order to get WordPress, if you don't have WordPress downloaded on your laptop, on your system, quickly navigate to your browser and open a new tab. When you open a new tab, search for WordPress.org. WordPress.org. Hit enter on your keyboard. Okay, so it's still loading. Okay, so we have WordPress here. This is the page. So quickly click on Get WordPress at the top right corner of your screen. You can see Get WordPress. Click on it. So it's going to open a new page, and just below it a little bit you can see download WordPress version 6.4.3. Click on it and your download will start. Okay, so after downloading WordPress, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, it's going to look like this in a zip format. You can see WordPress here where my cursor is placed. You can see WordPress 6.2.2. That's the version I downloaded, so you can see how it's looking, right? Good. So you're going to unzip this file. So in order for you to unzip this folder, you're going to right click on it, because once you download WordPress from its official website, it's going to come in this format. It's going to come in the zip format. Right click on it and click on extract here or extract files. After you click on it, click on OK, and automatically, for instance, if I click on extract files, it's going to demand me to click on OK. But since I've already extracted the files, it's asking me that if I want to replace it. Okay, so from your system you can do that, and it's going to extract. And after extracting, this is how it's going to look like. The folder is going to appear this way. So after you extract the folder, after you unzip the folder, it's going to look like this. Open the folder and you're going to see WordPress content inside of this folder. Look at them. We have WP admin, WP content, WP includes. All these things are WordPress files that we need to install and connect to our database. So let's quickly start the process. Now highlight the whole of these files by clicking on your keyboard Ctrl A to highlight all. Ctrl E to highlight all the files, and right click on it to copy all the files, or on your keyboard press Ctrl C. Now look at copy here. I've copied the files. I'm going to navigate to my C drive, my local disk. Click on local disk on your system, and it's going to take you to this environment. Now on installing XAMPP that we installed in our earlier video, automatically the folder is created in our C drive, in our local disk. You can see the folder here, XAMPP. Open the folder and navigate to htdocs. Look at htdocs here. Open htdocs, and inside htdocs right click and create a new folder. Let this folder bear the same name with the database you created in our first video. In our first video we created a database called Google, right? So here we are going to create a new folder and we're going to name it Google. Okay, hit enter. Now we'll have a folder called Google. Open the folder and paste all the files you copied from WordPress by right clicking and clicking on paste. Okay, now you can see WordPress files, copying it to the new folder we have created from our XAMPP htdocs folder. Okay, so please don't forget the steps. When you get to your local disk, you locate for a folder called XAMPP. Open XAMPP, and inside the XAMPP folder, locate a folder called htdocs, and inside htdocs create a new folder bearing the same name as your database name. It could be anything, but in our case we are using Google, so we created a folder called Google, and inside of the folder we are pasting WordPress files, the ones we copied from the extracted folder, the folder we downloaded from WordPress official website, which is wordpress.org, right? Okay, So those are the steps. Please do not forget, pay attention carefully so that you may not miss any step of this video, and watch it to the end. Okay, it's 99% complete, 100% good. Now let's open our browser and see how we are going to install this. Now open a new tab, and in a new tab type localhost slash the database we created, which is what? Google. You can see the database we created, Google. So on your browser, open a new tab and type localhost slash Google. It could be anything. If you are using a database that is bearing a different name from this, make sure you type it and not Google, right? This is an example from this video because in our case we are using Google as our database and the same name we created our folder in htdocs. Okay, now hit enter on your keyboard. Now it's going to load and open a page that has WordPress logo, and if you are on that page, bear it in mind that you are on track, you are following the process very well. Okay, so let's allow it to load. Okay, I think we are here. Very good. So now we are going to configure WordPress. We are going to set up our configuration. Now we are in the process of seeing how we can continue with, or rather start the installation of WordPress. Now you can see if you're on this page, it means you're on track and you have followed the step very well, right? So you're going to select English. English already selected as your default language. So you're going to click continue to continue. Okay, very good. Now you say welcome to WordPress. Before getting started, you need to know the following items: database name, database username, database password, database host, table prefix, right? So now we are going to, by the time you start the installation, you're going to understand this thing because we're going to be filling two forms that will prompt us to fill these informations, right? So click on let's go. It's going to take you to this page. This is good. Now it's asking you, the first option here says database name. So you're going to put your database name. What's our database name? Google. The one we created from XAMPP, right? In our earlier video was Google. Now we're going to use a username. In our case, we're going to use roots as our username. Use roots as your username because by default WordPress has a username called root by default. So you can, username can be anything, but in this case let's use root, right? We're using root. Good. Now for the case of password, make sure the password space is kept empty for this very particular form because we are going to fill a second form where we are going to set our password properly. Now which database are we using? We are using localhost, right? Don't forget we are using localhost. So always allow the localhost to be like this. Don't touch and edit anything from it. Now our table prefix, we have WP. You can change it to be anything. For instance, it can be GG, which stands for Google, or anything. WP earlier stands for WordPress, right? So click on submit, which takes you to the next form. Okay. Now if you have run all the process to this point, it means you're on track and you are starting WordPress installation properly. Now you can see, alright Sparky, you have made it through this part of the installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database. If you are ready, time now to work. Good. It means your database is now connected to WordPress properly, and now you're installing WordPress. Good. Click on run the installation. It's going to take us to another form. We are going to fill the major information that to install WordPress. Now on this form, we are demanded to put our site title. What is the title of our site? Google. Please do not forget, title of site is your database name, Google. What was the username we used earlier on the form we filled? Was what? Root. That was the username we used. Do not forget that as well. Now for your password can be anything, but make sure it's strong, right? Let's say in our case we are going to use 1234 at Google. Okay, something like this is our password. Now you can ensure that the password is weak, which means at least it have been a little bit strong. So let's cancel, let's say GOG or something like this, or let's see, we have GOOGL at 20 2024. Okay, we didn't write the Google complete, then we omit the E and we put at 2024. Since anything, the password can be anything, just make sure it's either medium or strong in order to proceed. Now for the email address, you can choose to put your email address if you have one. If you don't have anyone, you can create, or just put any email for now, which you're going to edit subsequently as you develop your site or host it online. So in our case, we're going to write google@gmail.com. Even though the email is not in existence, just a test run mail, we're just writing that for now, which we're going to edit subsequently, right? Okay, so after filling the form, quickly click on install WordPress. Now it's going to load and install WordPress for us. So if we are on track, everything is going to go well and smoothly, and it's going to prompt us to log in after installing WordPress. Now if it prompts us to log in, it means you are going to fill the information, which is username and password, in order to log in. And once we are logging, we are going to see our dashboard. Okay, very good. Now it takes us to a place saying success, WordPress has been installed. Thank you and enjoy. It means you have installed WordPress. This is very, very good. You have installed WordPress, right? Good. So now this is what we are going to do, right? We are going to click on login. Click on login. Now it's going to take us to this area, and in this area you can see that our username we used was root, our password was this, right? So after writing this password, click on login, and it's going to log us in, right? It's going to take us to our dashboard, and if it takes us to our dashboard, it means we have successfully done every steps in order to install WordPress. We have completed every step, so we are on track. Okay, yeah, we're here, right? Okay, so congratulations guys, you have successfully done every step in installing WordPress. Now we have installed WordPress and connected it to our database. Now look at our dashboard. This is our WordPress dashboard. Good, congratulations guys, this is good. Welcome to WordPress. So this is our WordPress dashboard. If you have watched this video up to this point, I believe you must have understood and followed every step in order to create, or rather install WordPress. Good. Now let's quickly click on visit site so that we'll see how our site looks in its raw format without us. Very good. So this is how our WordPress is going to look like. You can see how raw it's looking, right? Yes. Look at Google as our domain name. Okay, look at Google sample page. Look, you can see how raw everything looks like, right? So we are going to be working on this in our next video. We are going to see how we can transform this area and create other pages that will look very fine. In our next video, we are going to be explaining our WordPress dashboard. Okay, so very good. Don't forget to like and share this video, because in our next video we are going to be doing more. Thank you for watching and have a great day. All right, thank you guys.